So hey guys, welcome to another Legion video, and first of all, I hope that you can't hear the fan in the background, because if I turn it off, I might die. It's incredibly hot right now. So today I want to focus on the Demon Hunters, the new class. And the first thing I want to talk about is how happy I am that Blizzard is willing to break the rules again, because usually when they do, it ends up being good. So they're not going to use mail, which is the least distributed armor type amongst all the classes. They will use leather. It makes sense for them to use leather. It does not make sense for them to use mail. Therefore, they will use leather. They are not going to use cloth, even though it would kind of make sense for the Demon Hunters. But they would have to itemize a lot of cloth items to have agility. And that doesn't make sense. Even though I just assume they're going to use agility, but it looks like they're going to use agility because they're very agile. So instead of itemizing cloth to have agility, they will just have leather. Very good. Happy with that. Now there's one thing I'm even happier about. Because they're willing to break the rules, the Demon Hunters will only have 2 specs. Fantastic. Because that means that these 2 specs won't be watered down. And no, ranged Demon Hunters don't make sense. And healing Demon Hunters? People are asking Blizzard to make healing Demon Hunters? How are you going to heal people as a Demon Hunter? Are you going to run up to them and hit them with glaives to close their wounds? Really? Healing Demon Hunters? Come on, people. Think before you speak. It's like having a restoration warlock. The only logical spec would be another melee one. That means that they would have to take some of the cool abilities from the already existing melee and tanking spec and put them there. Alright, and that would water down those 2 specs. As it is right now, with only 2 specs, they can take all the cool melee stuff, all the cool DPS stuff, put it into 1 spec, and all the cool tanking stuff, and put it into the other spec. Awesome. As far as gameplay goes with the Demon Hunter, they will have glaives as their artifact weapons. But if you go onto Battle.net and you go under the game class and you go onto the Demon Hunter, the available weapons are daggers, fist weapons, one-handed axes, one-handed maces, and one-handed swords. Alright, so you'll probably be able to transmog your glaives, because that's something we can do apparently. You can transmog your artifact to look like something different. With the Demon Hunter, it looks like you'll be able to transmog it into an axe, into one-handed mace, one-handed sword, fist weapon, and a dagger. I don't know why anyone would do that, because glaives are fucking awesome. But, you know, if you're mentally ill and you don't want to use glaives as a Demon Hunter, you can. Now let's talk about their resource system. If you once again go to Battle.net under classes and you go on to the Demon Hunter, it says that they will have health and energy as their standard bars. But since they have Metamorphosis, which they took away from Demonology Warlocks, because they want to make Demonology Warlocks more into sort of a swarm class, that instead of turning into a demon, you will have lots of demons with you. I think they will have Demonic Fury, so you will use energy outside of Metamorphosis to build up Demonic Fury, or whatever the resource will be called, and then you can pop into Metamorphosis and use that Demonic Fury, dealing increased damage. And this is still kind of meh, because we don't know if it's gonna have a cooldown, the Metamorphosis that is, or if it's gonna work like Metamorphosis works now for Demonology Warlocks. And in that case, if it works like the current Metamorphosis, we might run into some serious problems, because the reason Demonology Warlocks were so strong is because they had on-demand burst at any time. They weren't, let's just say, held back by a 1-minute cooldown or a 2-minute cooldown or a 3-minute cooldown. If something needs to die really fast, or you need to go big dick and DPS boss really hard, they had Metamorphosis for it. And really good Demonology Warlocks knew the entire encounter, and they knew when it's the best time to pop into Metamorphosis. And the same thing will happen with the Demon Hunters if it works the same way. They will know the encounter, and they will know when it's the best time to pop into meta, and they will dominate the other DPS classes. But there is also the interview with Ian, where he said, well, we're nerfing Demonology Warlocks because we don't like the playstyle. Did he say that because they were like, holy shit, we have Demon Hunters coming, and we want them to play kind of like a Demonology rogue? And we want them to have Metamorphosis, so we need to change that? Or was it genuinely just them not liking the playstyle? And in that case, the Metamorphosis for Demon Hunters will probably work differently than it does for Demonology Warlocks right now. But once again, we don't know. Alright, and we probably won't know until BlizzCon, where they'll probably reveal more about the Demon Hunters. Then there were some people that were really disappointed with the skill set. And I mean, it was the first sort of like showcase of the Demon Hunters. I think they just tried to get a Demon Hunter working instead of having a full Demon Hunter. They will add more skills. Don't worry. I mean, they changed so much stuff. I mean, in Wrath of the Lich King, originally, Death Knight wasn't the only hero class, and I mentioned this in one of my 10 fun facts about WoW. You had 3 hero classes, which then were merged into Death Knights. There was the Rune Master, or something like that, which was the Blood Death Knight. Then there was Death Knight, which then turned into Frost Death Knight. And then they had Necromancers, which then turned into Unholy Death Knights. So they changed stuff a lot. Alright, so don't worry, just hold on. They will add more abilities and more cool stuff. And finally we have the double jump, and some people are going nuts over it. But from what we have seen, it doesn't look like you can jump higher. Alright, you won't jump higher, you would just jump further. Maybe you can jump slightly higher. That might break some of the battleground maps. Where like in Warsong Gulch, you might be able to jump over something that other classes aren't able to jump over. But they will deal with that somehow. Alright, they'll be the best for breaking out of maps. That's for damn sure. With the double jump. But I think they just wanted Demon Hunters to have something really cool. And that's about it. Alright. And in beta or in alpha, when people start jumping over things, they will start patching them up so Demon Hunters can't do that. Alright, don't worry about that too much. Maybe the first month after release, Demon Hunters will be jumping over all sorts of things, but they will fix the models and they will upgrade the meshes so it's slightly higher, and they will fix that. I would not worry about that. And the last 2 things that I want to mention is the Spectral Sight, which some people think is going to be overpowered, and I don't think it's going to be nearly as overpowered as people think it will be. It will probably have a very long cooldown, and it once again makes sense for the Demon Hunters. You deliberately blind yourself so you can see this kind of stuff. It'd be kind of funny if outside of this vision where you can see through walls and stuff, that units, the screen would just be black and you'd be bumping into things. And then there was the Unrivaled Mobility. Really? Really though? We already have warriors which can charge twice, they can heroic leap, and they can intervene. We have monks that can have 3 rolls, and the flying serpent kick for windwalkers. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And we have rogues that can sprint indefinitely. And shadow step. So their mobility, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, honestly. And that's pretty much it for the Demon Hunters. That's what I think about them. What do you think about them? Tell me in the comment section. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.